Steve, not a whole lot has gone right in Jacksonville. They had high aspirations with some draft picks, a talented offense. They do not have Trevor Lawrence for the rest of the year. But there is a bright spot, and that is their rookie wide receiver and Brian Thomas Jr.
That's a touchdown, Jacksonville!
This is Rookie Report Card. Brian Thomas Jr., Steve. What's your initial take on BT?
Well, one of the things that was really intriguing when I had the opportunity to look at his film in college, he didn't have a lot of numbers because he was playing alongside Malik Neighbors. A lot of people did not have him slotted as the kind of route runner and the type of player he is today. With the first round selection, 23rd overall pick by the Jacksonville Jaguars, I was really beating the drum for Brian Thomas Jr. because I thought he was allowed and held back to do so. He was only allowed to run certain routes. But then when you watch his film, there were little things that he was doing that really showed me his ability to drop his weight, his ability to get in and out of breaks, his savviness, his understanding of a defense, his understanding of his role in the offense. When you talk to some of his teammates, a lot of his teammates say, hey, we know Malik Neighbors is the guy, but the silent assassin, the guy you have to watch out for, is BT because he doesn't say a lot. He just goes about his business the right way. And when I'm watching the film as a pro now, I'm seeing the advancement with a lot of the things that are going on with Jacksonville. Their dysfunction. They're not clicking on all cylinders. First of all, and this is extremely important, he's not playing out of position. And every single grade that we're going to give, that's the first thing I want to see. Is this young man playing out of position? Because a guy can play X in college and be put in a Z position, which X is on the ball, no motion. Z is near the tight end with motion. And so he's not playing. And so that's the part that I love. He goes up against top tier corners. He's doing well. He drops his weight, excellent, in and out of cuts, the ability to separate, escape press for a rookie like a savvy veteran. However, whatever happens in Jacksonville, that will tell me a lot of what you can expect out of BT, because if he can have a more stable play calling, stable quarterback play, and a true identity of what kind of offense he will be in, dare I say it, I will see his production increase because he would know what his responsibilities are. A lot of his work that he does is out wide. Literally 73% of his work is done out wide, looking at my stats. Really only 26% in the slot. His yak is pretty good. Explosive plays, which is deep, 20-plus yards. He's 40%. But here's what I love.
Hit me.
He doesn't have a lot of short, which is 0 to 9, intermediate. That's not what he really does. He's a deep threat guy, and he makes good decisions. One of the interesting parts, Christian Kirk does his work too, but who's the number one wide receiver? Is BT for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And so when I go into my grades, route running, give him a B. And why not an A? Because the young man still has some room to grow in that limited offensive dysfunction that's going on.
Okay.
Catching, B, when thrown to him on time, in a catchable position, and then his athleticism, A.
Well, I look at it too, like I'm giving him a little credit then with everything he's played through this season and everything that he's been put through this season. In your rookie year, you'd like everything to go perfect. It hasn't, but he's played extremely well. I'll say this, Steve, like you said, I called around. I'm talking to executives, coaches, defensive coaches that have played against him. Try to talk to as many people as I can to gather kind of what the thought is. The first thing that I'll just throw out there is this. Everybody I talk to said he is a number one. And there is no question about it that he is a number one receiver. The other part that jumps out at me is this. They had a trade done with the Pittsburgh Steelers for Christian Kirk. It was pretty much done. You don't go and make that move to trade away the guy that kind of makes your passing offense go. Everything kind of goes through Christian Kirk in Jacksonville. If you're not comfortable in seeing the growth in the immediate future and the future down the line in Brian Thomas Jr. Like you're seeing some different things that you can do with him. So what they're seeing, from what I've gathered, asking around, specifically in Jacksonville, is this. You mentioned how much he lines up outside. They think that he can have the ability to become more versatile as time goes on. They're starting to find ways to put the ball in his hand different ways. One that surprised them is some of this stuff that Jamar Chase is great at, getting the ball on an end around, on a sweep, kind of just handing him the ball and letting him make a play. Mm-hmm. They didn't know he was as good of a ball carrier as he's been. It's been a small sample size.
They should have talked to 89 then. I would have told them.
You would have told him he's a great ball carrier. Guy played some played some high school running back. So, I mean, maybe do a little more research, Jacksonville. But, listen, they've been surprised about that part of it, and that's an added part of his game. They wanted to be more versatile. The other parts that they really, really get a chance to look at, Steve, and I kind of want your opinion on this. This is one of them that really stood out to them. Here's the deal, people. All season long, you can win up to 1,000 times your cash. Only on Underdog. Pick higher or lower on your favorite player, and you can join the millions of fans winning millions this season. Sign up today using promo code UD89, and you'll get a free pick as part of your first cash entry, plus $1,000 in bonus cash. Again, promo code UD89 to cash in on every touchdown this season, only on Underdog. You get to learn a lot about a guy that when you're finally with him every single day. And he's had some injuries. He's had to battle through some stuff. They'd had to protect himself from him. Hey, man, you got to go lighter today.
That's old school football player right there.
Like he wants reps. No, I'm fine. I'm good.
I love to hear that. Hey, when a player telling the coach, I'm straight, I'm good.
I'm good, man. I'm coach, I'm good. And that's what's happened down there. So to me, that doesn't really happen. You can get intel, right? And you do a ton of work. I do a ton of work draft time. But until he's there every day and it's week 10 and you're not feeling great and the guy still wants to be on the field.
And we're losing.
Yeah, that's a great point. And the season hasn't gone well and we're losing and he still wants to be on the field for every practice. That's a big part that has jumped out to Jacksonville. So in the intangibles category, I think he's kind of checked all the boxes they needed. He's been tough. Guys haven't gotten under his skin because you know the way the league can be. But he is a quiet guy that you don't really rattle in terms of some of these DBs that can go after you a little bit. They've liked that aspect, playing through injury, being tough. He's kind of done everything that they want you to do off the field in those little other aspects of being a professional. It seems like he's grasped that rather quickly, and I think that helps him quite a bit as you try to expand, like you said, into some other aspects that he can become a dominant receiver with. But the reports from people around the league are, I don't want to say they're raving reports, but there are a lot of people going, this is a true number one wide receiver. I don't have a doubt in my mind. This guy can flat out play.
Here's what some of the people are saying. He's a dude.
Yeah.
Right? He's a dude. And so let's just get into it. Let's run some of these plays.
Let's do it.
Just kind of show you some examples and some of the plays I want to bring up, right? I want to bring up to show just that the guy can play. You got him against one of the best corners in the league, right? Pressed up, no help over the top, Jalen Ramsey. And you can see right here just the way he goes. Blows past Jalen Ramsey. He doesn't bark outside of work. But let me tell you, when he's on the field, they say that he's a Rottweiler, a pet bull. Just, he can really fly. Look at that. He's looking back for the ball. The corner says, I can't even look back for the ball. And the safety's going, oh no, I hope they don't throw him the football. And that's exactly what they do. Smart play by Jalen, understanding, look, I'll get the PI versus giving up the touchdown. That's a smart play right there. Down here at the bottom, number 7, condense, runs the out, catches the football. Look at how, you talk about athleticism, splits 2 defenders. Quick out, goes back towards the ball, puts his foot in the ground, goes forward, up the field. That's pretty darn good right there. Mm-hmm. I really like this play because runs an outstanding route, gets the leverage of the guy that's covering him, understands cover 2, just looking at the defense, understanding how they're playing, gives himself an opportunity, toe tap, swag. Look, excellent ball placement, but watch the concentration. Hands getting right. I'm telling you, he's got, up to now when I was doing this research, 72 targets. Bro, I'm telling you, out of the 72 targets, about 50 of them I could have just showed you just how excellent that he's running these routes. Just watch the route, bro. Control. He runs with definition, define. It's like he's like a math teacher. He's connecting each of these dots. He's run like a graph. This line's connected to this line, connected to that line. And the only person who can help you is Jesus, because the corner has no help. The safety is getting back. And why I brought this play up is because I want to be able to show you against good corners. The everyday corners, we're not worried about that, but we got to show you against the corners that he's going to be seeing in years to come in the playoffs, where it's going to be the type of corners you call a tier one, these type of corners that were first-round draft picks who are in their third and fourth contract, who, yes, they may be long in the tooth as far as years in the league, but they're years in the league because they can play football. And his average depth of targets is beyond 10 yards, just running some exceptional routes, run after the catch, puts his foot in the ground, and does everything right that you would want to see out of your 23rd pick. He's a guy that his expectations as a first-round pick, he's exactly what it is. He understands what he needs to do. He understands how he needs to go about business. And the best part, the NFL environment is not overtaking him. He loves to practice. He loves to come to work. He has his lunch pail. Let's do it. Brian Thomas, you got a B+ with an asterisk. It could be an A, but they just haven't given you the ball enough. So that's why I have to go with an asterisk, because I already know I'm expecting sophomore, junior, senior, and years to come masters. He will have his PhD in route running very soon.
You've seen their offense go as he goes, Steve.
Yes.
If he doesn't get targets, the offense doesn't move. That's saying something for a rookie wide receiver. You saw that game against Tennessee. Second half, what happens? He starts getting targets. What happens to their offense? They start moving the ball, and it starts to play a little bit differently. I think you're right. I think he's wired the right way when you ask people. He knows exactly what he can do, but I think the interesting part about it is I think they're learning a lot about him.
Yeah.
Like 50-50 balls. They're like, is that something he can do? Go back and look at the ball.
Yeah. How about trying?
Gonzalez.
Give me a chance.
Yeah. Throw me some. You know what I mean?
Don't put me in a box.
By the way, where our season's going, just throw it up. Just give it to Brian Thomas.